Trojan Sports Now.
Hello and welcome back to Trojan Sports Now. For this week's Trojan Profile, I'm joined by head coach for the women's golf team, Bart Barnes. So, Coach, thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, thank you for having me. I really appreciate being here.
Absolutely. Well, you've been at Troy five and a half years now. How has your time been at Troy?
You know, it's been sort of like a dream come true. Really found a place getting back close to where I grew up. I'm from Elba, Alabama originally. So to be back here, an area I'm familiar with, doing something I really enjoy doing, you know, for an awesome university, great program, great athletics program, and working with some really good people. I've got nothing but great things to say about my time here.
And you're the head coach, so what made you want to become a golf head coach?
Well, I was a college player myself. Graduated from Middle Tennessee State and turned professional a couple years after that. Played for a couple years, and you know, professional golf is tough. And I always knew I wanted to be in the golf business, and always knew I wanted to have a career in a golf-related field. And after a couple years of playing professionally and trying some other jobs, I was talking to somebody who really meant a lot to me, and he had a suggestion that he made. He thought I had, you know, maybe some of the skill sets that would make a good golf coach. I took his advice. Called an old friend here, Matt Terry, the director of golf here now, and my timing couldn't have been better. He needed a new graduate assistant coach. I was interested in getting involved with the team, and you know, some doors opened for me, and you know, the rest is, I guess, history. Just been a real blessing, and really within the first month of being at Troy and working with the college players and everything like that, I knew I had found something that I really enjoyed, something that I wanted to do for a long time.
And now last year you were named the 2014 Sun Belt Coach of the Year. You know, what did that mean to you?
Well, you know, obviously it's a big honor. It did mean a lot to me because, you know, that's something that's voted on by your peers. And so when the coaches that have been, you know, coaching for a period of time and are in your conference, are familiar with your work, familiar with your team, when they look at what you've done and say that you've done a really good job, it's very rewarding, very gratifying. I really thought it was just a great honor last year.
And now, you talked about being a graduate assistant, and you've now been the women's head coach for 2 years. What has that been like, and what was the transition like?
You know, there has been a transition, definitely. I feel like last year as a first-year head coach, sometimes I was scrambling around trying to learn on the job a little bit. Obviously, I'd had some good training, some good experience, but there's no real preparation for, hey, you're the head coach. Everything falls back on you, and it's a lot of responsibility. And you know, transitioning now into my second year, almost gone through a full second year, I'm getting a little bit more of the hang of it. But like I said, we're all learning, always trying to get a little better. But it really has been great. I feel like I was prepared well for this, and just really enjoying it. This is something that's I really like to do on a day-to-day basis. I love coaching the women's team, and here at Troy, it's been a really good experience.
Speaking of learning, what has been something that has stood out to you that you've learned? Well,
I find myself, the longer I'm doing this, the more patient I get. Hopefully, you know, I think the patience is a big value. It's something that is. Obviously, as a head coach, you really need that skill. In this time, you want everything done. You want it done now or yesterday. But you know, we are all learning. We're all going to make mistakes, myself included, the team. Patience has kind of been the big thing that I've been focusing on, is trying to understand that things will come in time, and that you have to be patient, and that everyone is learning and trying to get better every day. So if we can do that and be patient with it, you know, good results will come out of that.
Now, last year y'all were the Sun Belt Conference champions. First off, just talk about what that meant to you and to your team.
Well, you know, it was a very, very satisfying week. Obviously, very exciting. We played great. It was, you know, probably our best week of golf that we had all year, and to have it, you know, at the conference championship when it mattered, and with everything at stake, it was unbelievable in some ways, kind of like you would script it in a movie or something. And for me personally, that was my first head coaching victory. So to have all those things kind of tie into one, as well as having an individual champion that week and everything, you really couldn't have scripted it any better. And we had a lot of fans there because we were just a couple hours down the road in Loxley, Alabama. We had a lot of staff there from the school. My family was able to be there. So to have all that in one, it was quite an experience for me, something I'll remember.
And now how are you preparing your team to defend that title this year? Well,
we go back to the same course. We didn't have any seniors graduate off of last year's team, so we returned all of our team last year. So the young ladies have experience. They remember last year and what it took, the hard work they put in to earn that victory. Same course. We'll be preparing for the course the same way. Obviously, there's a little bit of a different challenge now as a defending champion. But I think they're ready for it. We've been playing well as the weather has warmed up. Our golf games have warmed up a little bit and been playing very well. So we're just trying to keep that momentum going into the tournament, keep our confidence level high.
And from champions last year, how do you set goals for this season, or what goals did y'all set?
Well, one thing, I told the team when we started in the fall was we don't have to do anything truly to defend that title or anything like that. They can't take that one away. That trophy is in a case. They earned it. They have it. The big thing is to start setting our sights forward to the hard work and the practice and the time and effort that it's going to take to go and win another one, a new one, totally separate from last year. And they've kind of taken that work ethic to practice every day, and that's what we're trying to work towards, a totally new championship, a totally new year, and just not really think too much about last year and what happened.
And your team is currently 83 in the country. So what does that mean to you and to your players?
Well, it's something we keep an eye on. For us, it marks a great progress that we've made in the 5 years that I've been here with the teams. I think when I first started, we were 150 or something in the country on the women's program side, and we've just had a steady improvement working with Coach Terry and the girls, and so it's something we use to mark our progress. But we try not to let that also define us so much. In that, I think we're probably better than that number says, and I know we're better than what that number says on given days. And our job is to try to have that level of play show up more and more often.
And now with last year being champions and this year, you're ranked, how do you keep your team constantly wanting to do better?
Well, I think it stems a little bit from each player's inner motivation. They all have desires and goals to be the best they can be and make the most of their experience here as players. And, they're all overachievers and really high achieving young ladies, and they hold themselves to a pretty high standard of excellence. And I think a lot of what they're doing and have continued to do really stems from their own desires to achieve and to excel.
And now the tournament is next week, so how are y'all preparing for that now?
Well, unlike last year we played a couple of tournaments in quick succession right before the conference tournament. This year we have a little bit more downtime. I think it's probably going to be good for us. We're resting a little bit. Obviously, we're having some very focused practices, but not as long. Trying to keep the young ladies fresh going into this week. It's going to be a big challenge, a big mental stress test, and so we want them to be fresh. We're preparing for some specific holes and circumstances that we'll see and face this week, and just using little bits of experiences from different tournaments this spring to kind of build our confidence, to keep us looking forward and keep us hungry and ready to go next week.
And then I know on campus y'all are getting a new golf facility. How excited are y'all about that?
Well, right away it puts a big smile on my face to know that we have friends and family here with the university that have been helping us to fundraise for that, and to see it kind of coming to fruition and know that we're going to have a home for the staff and for the golf teams, and it's unbelievable. I see it go up every day, puts a smile on my face. It kind of keeps you working hard and it keeps you humble because you know of all the hard work and all the generosity of people to help make it happen. But to look out there and know that between our practice facility and that new team building that's coming, that Troy Golf has got a home here, and it's something that we can build around for the future.
And now, Coach, I have some fun questions, kind of get to know you a little better. So first off, what is your favorite food?
Well, I started a new diet not too long ago. I've been trying my best to do gluten-free foods, so I've had to cut out a lot of stuff. But now, by far, if I have a cheat or I have something that I really crave, I love a good pizza. I have to have some pizza every once in a while to keep me sane, keep my sanity. So I'd have to say pizza. If I get a cheat, that's what I do.
And now, what about your favorite music?
Music, well, I like a little bit of everything, and obviously riding in the van with the girls, I'm up to date on all the newest pop music. I could probably quote about every Taylor Swift music video now, but when I'm in my car and listening, I like outlaw country. I have Sirius XM radio, and like outlaw country, that's channel 60. And I'm also kind of a grunge fan too, so I listen to the Lithium channel, 34, Sirius XM. I'm big into the early 90s rock too.
And what about your favorite movie?
I'd say one I can watch over and over is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Between the music and the storyline is based on a classical book, the Odyssey. I think it's a great movie. I can watch it over and over and over.
And then the last book you read?
Book. Comes to books, I'm all work. I haven't read a fiction book in a long time. So The Talent Code is probably the last book that I read, and I reread it probably once a year. Probably, I think it's a great book for coaches, but also a great book for somebody trying to learn a skill. And so The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle, I believe it is.
And then, what do you do in your spare time, or do you even have spare time?
Oh yeah, I have some spare time. I still like to play golf myself, so that's still a pretty big hobby of mine. I practice and play on my own time when I can. I've mentioned my family's not very far from here. One of my favorite things to do on a weekend, if I have an afternoon off, is I like to go down to the farm, and we have cattle. I like to ride around in the fields and on the golf cart and just see all the outdoorsy stuff. It really kind of gets me back close to home, relaxes me. It's one of my favorite ways to spend a weekend afternoon.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining me today, and I wish y'all the best of luck in the tournament next week, and hopefully y'all can bring home that championship.
I appreciate it so
again.
much, Amy. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And stick around for more Trojan Sports Now. We'll have a preview of what's coming up in Troy Athletics.